Hey everyone, I hope you have enjoyed Converge 2025 so far. I'm so excited for our next session with Rigo Mulato from Talewind Digital. He has some really exciting insights on kind of how his team uses Power BI to connect RoboHead data with some other important business data for their company and create really powerful insights with dashboards. So I'm going to let him explain that and turn that over to him now.
Thank you very much, Abbie. It's a pleasure being with you, and thank you very much for the invitation to collaborate and participate in this presentation. So, thanks again. Yes, and let's start very quickly with a summary and an overview of the partnership between RoboHead and Worker BTV. Worker BTV is a multimedia company. We work with different association clients around the world. We help them drive their strategies and the communication strategies to engage with their members and facilitate that value proposition, right? So this collaboration between RoboHead and Worker BTV started in 2018, from what I know. I joined the company in May 2023, and right after I joined, there was established a focus group trying to identify ways to better use the information available in RoboHead and create some sort of reporting that was easily to be updated, but also very easy to be consumed. So by July 2023, we created a first draft of something we call the data dashboard, which was some sort of collection of all the information available in RoboHead, at least the pieces that we discovered and found more important for us. And later that year, in quarter four, the same in 2023, we were told that RoboHead developed an API, and this API was amazing because it enables Tailwind or Worker BTV to create another level, another level of value proposition in this data dashboard reporting. So in July 2025, which was just a couple months ago, Worker BTV renamed and rebranded to Tailwind Digital. This strategy was to be more aligned with the client needs and what we offer in terms of value proposition. So this is just a quick overview, and then I will move to the next slide. Perfect. The next item we have in here is the pain points we identified when we started working in this focus group. So this is just a quick summary. Obviously, there were a lot more pain points, but the most relevant was the level of data that was available. RoboHead, it's an enormous source of information. You have lots of tables, lots of data available there. But the next question was how to organize the data, right? Another pain point was that RoboHead was not the only source of information. We have different spreadsheets around. We also have some other tools that we work with. So we wanted to find a way to also use that information and connect it in a single place. However, the typical approach using spreadsheets probably was not the best way to do it because the calculation power it required. For those that have used Google Sheet or Excel spreadsheets, it's a lot when you connect like thousands of lines and you try to refresh the data. It will take you kind of a little bit of time, right? And finally, the continuous updates. So we wanted to have a document that was alive, that could be updated continuously, and also that was capable to add more information throughout the years or throughout the time. So these were primarily the pain points. So the most obvious solution was to connect throughout some business intelligence tool. Now the question was, which one? RoboHead can also connect to different types of business intelligence tools. One of those is Tableau, and another obvious one is Power BI. So the answer for us it was a little bit obvious. It was Power BI, and that was primarily because I had some sort of experience using these tools in the past. Um, that was primarily one of the reasons. And the second one is because Power BI is integrated with their own tool that they call Power Query, which also enables you to clean and organize the data before creating the reports. That was primarily the reason why we decided to go this pathway. So Power BI also gave us the opportunity to connect with some other tools. For example, JotForm. We use JotForm to surveys and some other data collection. QuickBooks for the financial information. And as I already mentioned, we have also some spreadsheets um, that we continuously use. And those were the primary sources to integrate with this Power BI tool. Now, the next question is how we want to collect the data. So we had at the time the approach number one, which was using the built-in feature in RoboHead to download and also schedule those automated reports and receive them daily in your email. So that was kind of an easy and fast way to implement and collect the data. The second approach, which I found very, very interesting, and that is the one that I mentioned that was sharing quarter 4 in 2023, is this access through the API to the backend of RoboHead. So I found this kind of an universe of information because you had access to everything. Like all the tables available in RoboHead, those were now available for me. So I found this super interesting. And that was approach number 2. And the third one, which is the most recommended way to do and perform this integration, it's the data direct module from RoboHead. So based on these approaches, probably you will need to decide which is the one that works better for you. I would recommend you to connect with Abbie and see which are the pros and cons of each approach. And then you decide which is the pathway to follow. Perfect. Now let's chat about and see a little bit of the results that we achieve using this connection between RoboHead, Power BI, and some of these other tools what we just mentioned. So this is a report. This is Power BI, and as you can see, we created primarily 4 basic reports. Inside each of these tabs, you will also find additional micro reports with more drill down information. But let's talk about the overview and a little bit of what's happening here. So the first slide, the first report is a summary of the financial performance, which is talking only about invoicing amounts. And this is just a quick overview for the SLT team to see what's going on in terms of invoicing. The second tab, it's a kind of a mix between RoboHead information and the invoicing piece. How is that connecting? So the first thing you will identify, we have a column that we call the labor cost, which is nothing else that RoboHead hours used per project times our standard billable hour. Then expenses, if there were any, and then it will give us a total based on labor costs plus expenses. Then this column is going to be compared against invoicing amounts, and then it's going to give us some gross profit and a percentage of profit or loss, if that's the case. So again, this is a very quick overview on how things are performing. This right now I have only one client filtering here, and I also can see how it's been the performing throughout the year in this table above. The third report is the project report, which is very focused on RoboHead information. And I can say this was the first report we created with this connection because, as I said, initially we just connected RoboHead information with Power BI. And here you can go and drill down specific projects. Let's say that I have this project in here, and I can see how this specific one performed. So in RoboHead, the hours allocated for this one particularly were 17 hours. When we finish the project, we use 12 hours. So it means that we save 6 hours compared to the initial scope of the project, which is translated to a 34% of savings in time. And then the last tab we have in here is the user report, which is some sort of summary of how all the contributors at Tailwind are performing. So let's say I have a name in here. I have my performance in 2025, and I can see very quickly how am I performing in terms of hours that I'm used compared to the allocated hours. So you can see, for example, there are some lines where I'm already above the hours that I was scheduled to use. But there are some others where I have seen some hours as well. So it's kind of a quick summary of how am I performing in terms of my projects and the projects that I touch. This is a very quick summary. In terms of billable hours, I've been using my time 90% of the time for projects that are related to billable projects, and 9% are related to projects that are non-billable, so like administrative tasks or some other projects that are internal to Talewind. So yes, as I said, this is kind of a quick summary of how it works. And we set up different types of filters. As you can see, we can go and filter by project status, by project number, by client, if this is a billable project or not, if it's an active or archive project. Also by user groups, I belong, for example, to client services, and I can go and see how my team is performing. So this information has been very useful for the SLT team. And as I mentioned, this is a very quick overview on how things are performing. So yes, that was kind of the overview. And then let's move to the last piece, which is the conclusions and results. So based on this RoboHead integration with these business intelligence tools, we were able to handle big data and make analysis on those. We were able to customize the reporting. So, RoboHead also gives you some built-in reporting, but this gave me the opportunity to go beyond and create some other reporting for us. Up-to-date information. This is something that is updated daily. We are able to create deeper insights. Also give us flexibility on building the reports based on our needs. And if something changes and this report is not valuable now, we can switch it and make it more actual to our current needs. It's built for continuous evolution. So what it means, again, we can continually add more and more resources to it. Quick updates. As I said, it's taking me probably 5 to 10 minutes, and maybe that's a lot. Probably I can save less than 5 minutes to have everything updated. And as I said, these also give us the RoboHead giving us the opportunity to connect to different business intelligence tools. It's also super useful because if in the future we decide that there is another option we want to pursue, it's going to be super easy to connect with those other options available. So, Abbie, that's what I have in here. I don't know if there is any comment questions that you want me to clarify.
Thank you so much, Rigo. I feel like there was so much good information. I think the thing that I like and that excites me the most is the way you can kind of use the information from different business sources. So it's not just your project data, it's kind of pulling in, everything that matters to your team, and, your executives want to see everything in one place. So I think that's so powerful. And I'm excited to see how other people can use it.
Yeah.
So if you want to get more information about how to connect to a BI tool, the best thing to do, I'm going to drop a PDF here in the event so you can see kind of some basic information about it, but really reach out to our customer support team, and they are just the best, and they will get you connected to whatever information you need to make that happen. So
that's going to be super useful.
Yes, they are really just whizzes at kind of knowing either, what to do or who to connect you to get what you need. So definitely a great way to go with that. Thank you again, Rico. We will see you, and we will see you everyone else in the next session. So feel free to hop out, take a minute if you need, and we'll see you over there. Thank you.
Thank you, Abbie. Thank you for having me. Good luck, everyone. Bye.
Yeah.